Hello Retromovie fans, my name is Retromoviegirl, and today I have for you Starstruck. Starstruck is the story of Chase, who is a major Hollywood player, a major Hollywood star from the time he was a child, and an incidental encounter between him and a woman named Zoe. Zoe and her best friend Alexis have always been fans of Chase, and Chase has a Twitter account, as most Hollywood people or stars do at this point. And what she does is she contacts him on Twitter and starts to talk about cookies and how she can bake them. And they've always been fans of, I think Alexis actually wanted to meet with him, and Zoe and Chase start to talk on Twitter, and they really like each other, and he's really interested and responds to most of her comments that she makes, and he's just like, wow, you can bake cookies, and I haven't had cookies since the cook that my mother used to bake them for me. Are they good? That kind of conversation. And it leads into a meeting which she doesn't really go to. Her friend goes to instead, but he comes out and says, did you send me cookies? And they start this really wonderful relationship. Hashtag Starstruck is unique in the fact that it does not contain any overt sexuality like most romance novels, or the great majority. I won't say most, but the great majority of romance novels do contain some sort of sexual description. But this one, however, does not, which is a nice break from the stuff that I normally read. But it's really unique in the fact that Zoe's grandparents, who she was raised by, she was kind of dropped off and left with her grandparents because her mother wanted to be famous. So she left her daughter and in the custody of her grandparents. And her grandparents are formerly Amish people, but due to the fact that their families didn't get along, they left the Amish lifestyle and became English, as they say, and raised Zoe that way, but still with the values of the Amish people without being too overtly English, even though she was raised in what is considered an English society for them, a more modernized society. So Zoe is going to college. Zoe is a college student, and she happens to get Chase's attention on Twitter, and their relationship starts from there. And what's so interesting about it too is that Chase is an admitted alcoholic because he wanted to work. He never used to drink because he knew that his father was an alcoholic, and you don't want to get into that type of thing if you're predisposed to it. So he decides early on that he doesn't want to drink, that he wants to remain completely in control. But there was a point in his career where this director said, if you don't drink, I don't trust a man who doesn't drink. So he starts to drink and it gets out of control. But he's sober as of the point of this, where we are in the story. He's sober. But Zoe also notices that one of his movies, I don't remember the name right now, but one of his movies appears to be less than stellar, and then he admits that he was drunk through most of the shooting of that movie. But when I come back, I'll tell you about one of my absolute favorite scenes from hashtag Starstruck, and I'll see you on the other side of this video. Okay, my favorite scene from hashtag Starstruck has to be when the crap has hit the fan. There's some sort of conflict over photos, and they hit the skids. They're no longer together, but Chase comes up with a brilliant idea. See, Zoe loves trivia, including Jeopardy, and she's absolutely addicted to Jeopardy. So he has an idea to tape an episode of Jeopardy where he reads the clues, and it's just so, I don't know if you would want to call it beautiful or unique in the way that the writer puts together all the clues, because you can tell that anybody who watches Jeopardy knows that everything is put into the form of all the answers are put into the form of a question, as we all know. But what's unique about this is that they use a couple things like, he uses her name in one of the clues, and he uses Bryan Adams, which is, it's kind of an oldie but a goodie. He uses one of Bryan Adams' songs. I think it's called Please Forgive Me, or I Love You, or something like that. But it's really unique in the way the story is put together, the way that she loves trivia, the way that he knows all of that and is able to get her back using those things that he knows will work, not as a manipulation, but as a way to try to gain genuine forgiveness, because he's genuinely sorry. He's not doing it so he can manipulate her in some way. And she was always afraid that if, she didn't want to use him, because everybody in Chase's life uses him. Even his mother uses him for some other cause because he's famous. And Zoe works for a non-profit ocean organization, and her boss has been after her to get Chase to sponsor or come to one of their events, and this leads to mistrust, accusations that are not true, and it just leads to a whole bunch of nonsense and things happen. So that is the Jeopardy scene from #Starstruck is my absolute favorite scene because of how it's put together and how it works. But I'll talk to you. Remember to subscribe and like this video if you liked it, and leave a comment, and I'll talk to you in my very next video. Bye.